Throughout history, certain knowledge has been deliberately hidden, kept from the public, preserved in whispers, symbols, and forbidden books. Not because it was false, but because it was dangerous. This is the world of the occult, a current that flows quietly beneath civilization, ancient, elusive, and persistent. Not fiction, not fantasy, but a forgotten system of truth, waiting to be remembered. The word occult comes from the Latin occultus, meaning hidden, secret, concealed. It refers to bodies of knowledge and ancient practices dealing with the mystical, the supernatural, and the unseen frameworks of reality. Occultism is not about blind belief, it's about symbolic systems of truth, tested, encoded, and layered beneath the surface. From alchemy and sacred geometry to tarot, Kabbalah, and Hermetic magic, these traditions trace patterns beneath the visible. Unlike institutional religion, the occult invites personal inquiry. It is less about worship and more about exploration.
The roots of occult knowledge predate the empires we know. In ancient Egypt, names held divine power. To speak the name of a god was to summon its essence. Their priests guarded sacred rites meant to guide souls through the underworld. In Babylon, astronomer priests mapped the stars, not just to measure time, but to speak with it. Indian yogic systems described multiple energetic bodies and planes of consciousness. Across the ancient world, rituals, incantations, and symbols engaged forces believed to shape fate, identity, and the cosmos itself. To the philosophers of Greece and Alexandria, the occult wasn't superstition, it was science in sacred disguise. Pythagoras saw mathematics as a gateway to divine truth. Plato envisioned a higher realm, the world of forms that cast shadows into our reality. Hermeticism emerged, attributed to the elusive Hermes Trismegistus. Its core principle? As above, so below. Everything, stars, elements, even the human body, was a reflection of something greater. The micro mirrored the macro, the soul mirrored the cosmos. But the deeper this knowledge grew, the more threatening it became. As the medieval church expanded, it sought to control not just morality, but meaning, mysticism, herbal healing, astrology. Once honored, rebranded as heresy. Thousands were silenced. Books burned. Yet hidden knowledge endured, encoded manuscripts, veiled allegories, secret orders. To protect wisdom, it had to be disguised. The Renaissance was not just a rebirth of art and science, it was a resurrection of mystery. As Europe emerged from the long night of the Middle Ages, a forgotten world of symbols, spirits, and sacred knowledge reawakened. Lost texts were translated from Arabic, Greek, and Hebrew. Esoteric libraries reopened after centuries of silence. Astrology wasn't entertainment, it was medicine. Physicians consulted star charts before diagnosis. Geometry was sacred, the key to understanding the patterns of heaven and earth. Paracelsus, the alchemical doctor, believed every plant held a spirit, and that healing meant harmonizing with nature's essence. Cornelius Agrippa, bold and brilliant, catalogued the unseen architecture of the cosmos. Angels, elements, numbers, and the human soul. Even Da Vinci's anatomical sketches hinted at something greater. Divine proportion hidden in muscle and bone. This was not a war between reason and magic, it was a dialogue, a union. For a moment in history, science and mysticism danced together. Two lenses, one truth. In the shadow of the modern world, some turned again to ancient whispers. The world was changing, industrial, mechanical, loud, and yet, beneath the surface, a new occult revival began to pulse. Theosophy emerged. Helena Blavatsky's tales of hidden masters and forgotten races stirred imaginations across continents. She spoke of Atlantis, Lemuria, and spiritual hierarchies beyond comprehension. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn followed. Rituals written in secret alphabets, initiations cloaked in symbolism, teachings whispered in candlelit chambers. Members studied astral projection, elemental magic, and Kabbalistic visions. Then came Aleister Crowley. Enigmatic, provocative, feared by some, revered by others. He did not merely practice magic, he redefined it. His system, Thelema, taught the radical idea that the will is sacred. To many, they were eccentrics, heretics, madmen, but to others, they were pioneers. They unlocked mystery, meaning, and personal power. Today, the occult whispers still. Tarot cards on bookstore shelves, astrology in daily feeds, crystals, sigils, meditation practices, all drawn from forgotten paths. Beneath it all, the same desire to know more, to find meaning in chaos, to believe there's something just out of reach. Occultism is often misjudged. It is not devil worship, or dangerous cults, or Hollywood horror. These are convenient fictions. True occult paths are inner paths, quests to understand reality, not escape it. They ask you to confront the unknown, to embrace transformation, to walk willingly into shadow, in order to find the light. What if the symbols and rituals of occultism weren't fantasy, but early attempts at psychology? Long before Freud and Jung, ancient practitioners explored consciousness through dream work, meditation, symbols, and archetypes. Alchemy wasn't just chemistry, it was transformation of the self. Tarot wasn't fortune-telling, it was a mirror for the psyche. Mystics spoke of the third eye, a concept echoed in modern neuroscience as the pineal gland. In the Hermetic axiom, as within, so without, they hinted at what today we call cognitive projection. Occultism may be one of humanity's earliest languages for the inner world, not myth, but metaphor, not superstition, but symbolic science. Occultism is not just about spells or sigils. It is about asking the forbidden questions and standing where others fear to look. If you've felt something stir while listening, perhaps the hidden world is already watching you, from the corners you don't want to go by candlelight, to the thoughts you don't usually speak out loud. If something called to you here, perhaps you already know where to return. Others might be listening too, and return if you dare.